Hi, it's Anthony with Land Title. I wanted to bring you the Broomfield market update for the month. So we have some really interesting stuff going on here with a really major shortage of inventory. Broomfield has been in one of those positions where even though they keep building out here, not much seems to change because you have so many people moving in and the buyer demand is just astronomical. So that really hasn't seemed to let up this year. You can see pretty much anytime stuff comes on the market, it is selling as quick as it possibly can. We're getting a major amount of appreciation in this market. With the shortage of inventory, the amount of people that have kind of gone this direction during COVID that purchase homes and buy bigger homes, and their needs have changed. So with all of that happening, we're really seeing, 22, 23% market appreciation. Those average sales prices are going through the roof in Broomfield. So one thing that you probably need to understand with this is since we're going to be starting this year at so much of a lower level. We're at 25 homes on market. If we get into December and we're lower than that, which is probably likely, we're not going to have as many sales take place in 2022, and it's going to be very, very tough spring market. You can see just how it was last year, but we started the year in a better place. We're going to start the year with even less inventory, which is going to make for an even more competitive springtime. So when we get into what happens with that, right? You can really see here in the average sales prices just how much it may bounce around a little bit because of the composition of sales, but 23% is about $130,000 more than it costs for a house in Broomfield even before that. So what we're getting with that is, I guess you can see here with the number of sold units, we're really limited on the amount of sales that can take place. You saw it in October where we had a dramatic amount less sales than we did year before because not enough listings came to market to meet that buyer demand. We have much more of a normal seasonal market than we've had in years past. So you can see that taking place. You can really see that, the COVID market from 2020 didn't really carry over into 2021, except for the fact that that buyer demand shifted so dramatically. Now we have less sales taking place, which should be expected. I expect we end the year about 5% below where we were in the past, which should not really surprise anyone. December was a really gangbusters year, if you remember last year. So here's where the real problem takes place. This shortage of inventory. We have 1 week of inventory in the market. A balanced market is 4 to 6 months, where buyer and seller are on even footing. So with everything selling pretty much the week it comes on, you have a very seller side heavy market. So if you're thinking about listing your house, you want to move out of Broomfield, this might be a great time to do that. The real problem here is that, the buyers are really going to suffer and struggle trying to get stuff under contract. And you can see days on market represents the buyer demand. So this is active to under contract in Broomfield. The reason you see these numbers at 14 days or less, we're talking about a few days and some back and forth between the agents trying to get stuff under contract. That negotiating period takes a couple of days, and you can see it starting to rise just a little bit into the winter, which we would expect, but don't expect for this to change too much. Over the last 2 years, all this has done is drop, and unless we have a huge spike in interest rates or something completely out of our control, we should expect very similar year to 2021 and 2022. So we're going to have strong season of buying in the spring, and it's probably going to start even earlier because we just have such a shortage of inventory. I'm Anthony at Land Title. If you have any other questions on the Broomfield market or surrounding areas, please let me know. Hope to see you soon.